And good evening and welcome to the August meeting of Health and Education Committee. We did not meet in July, and we have a little extra material tonight to look at, and we'll get right to it here. I do need a motion on approval of the minutes, please.
So moved.
Ms. Cook, and a second?
Second.
And all in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
And it passes unanimously, so we're off to a terrific start. Community care report, and the mayor is with us, and Ms. Cook is with us. And Ms. Cook, you've already assured me that things are in fine shape at community care, but we do have 3 reports here, and from June, July, and August. Anything out of the ordinary, or are things going great?
Things are going great.
Well, that's nice to hear. Profit and losses in pretty good shape and so forth.
Doing fine.
Um,
We're collecting some.
I see his collection figures on here, and they again look like they get a little bit better about every month. But, Mr. Mayor, comment on community care, or are we in good shape?
Census remains strong. Collections are good. The receivables are improving, and they're giving good care. We haven't had any deficiencies or surveys that have created any problems in recent months.
Well, there you go. All positive stuff. I need a motion to approve then from someone. Ms. Cook, and a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, and opposed, no, and there are none, of course, and thank you so much. Health Department, Garrett is with us this evening, as she always is, and she has good news and then more good news.
Hello, everyone. Before you, I have given you the report, the monthly report, and as you can see on our numbers, especially in our Smyrna clinic, we continue to just increase quite a bit. Our men's health is double what it was this time last year. Our WIC, that's the Women, Infant, and Children program, it's quite a bit increased, 40% increase over there. So it's just continuing to increase. And I had presented these numbers to the state and talked with them about a need for even more WIC, or Women, Infant, and Children program, in our Smyrna facility. Even though we have a beautiful facility, there's already space is a premium in that building, and offering some of these group classes and that, we really need some more room, if you can believe it. And the state has agreed with that, and they have agreed to give us a grant for almost $699,000, as you can see in the grant in front of you, to help us do just that, to build some expansion onto the building, more parking, a nice WIC classroom to help us see more patients more efficiently.
Is it in Smyrna?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Is there any matching funds required?
There is not. There is not.
You have a copy there of the grant in front of you there.
Yes.
Any
Are there any
questions?
You said the grant was for what now?
It's,
Parking?
yeah, we're going to expand parking and the building itself. We're hoping to around 3,200 extra square feet of a building to put WIC, the Women, Infant, and Children program, expand that there, in there.
Right at 700,000 total.
Yes, sir.
No matching funds.
That's right. No matching funds. It's all coming to us from the state.
You've already outgrown the facility.
I know. I knew you were going to say
We
that.
just built
It's such
it.
a brand new building. But you know the old saying, you build it and people come. And we have definitely seen a huge inpouring. And we could do more if we had more space and staff. So we're hoping to get both of those with
It's a
this.
great service you all doing with the economy like it is. So many people losing employment and losing insurance and things. What we'd do if you weren't there and able to provide that service.
Thank you.
I couldn't agree more. I think too that the other facility was too small.
Yes.
It was fine when it was built, but too small in recent years. And the new one, well, that this will attack the problem, I would think.
Yes, yeah,
Sounds.
exactly. And it's got hopefully some futuristic plans to even grow more in that area, so.
You need a motion to approve the
Yes, sir.
grant or the report, or can we do them in one motion?
I think we can do them all in one motion. Do you have anything on the, like I said, two motions?
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, you knew I was going to say
Well, I'll
two.
start off with a motion to approve the grant.
Okay, motion to approve the grant, Commissioner Jordan. Need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Cook. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed, no. And okay, the report itself,
Is this going straight to the commission?
I will take it on the budget.
Probably go to the budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like they'd increased it $63 for it to balance.
yeah, she said 700,000.
Oh, I see, yeah. I see what you mean, yeah, you're right.
Bid 700,000.
Who knows?
They can have a pancake breakfast or something.
There you
like that.
That part I don't know.
Ms. Garrett, anything on the report that you want to point out that you didn't say in the first sentence when you sat down, which is?
No, sir, just the continued increases that we're seeing in all the programs, men's health, women's health, WIC.
How's your inspections turning out?
For which ones? The pools or the?
Well, your food service, and then I noticed your swimming pools.
Yes. We haven't had a lot of failures in that area with, like swimming pool, you either pass or fail based on the inspection. And it's been very low, and then people are quick to fix that, so.
What about your tobacco survey?
On there. We do this on patients that come into the clinics to assess whether they're smoking or not, or using any kind of tobacco product or not. And if they are, that alerts us to certain programs that are available to help them stop smoking and to help them. So that's what that number is. That's how many people we targeted this month for that service, and offered them some services, medicines, those kind of things to help stop the smoking.
Any other questions about the report? If not, I need a motion to approve the report from Ms. Garrett.
So moved.
Commissioner Gooch, and a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Cook. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, thank you, Ms.
Are
Garrett.
you sure they're saying aye down there?
Yeah, they are. They are. Clearly. Have to be able to live and read. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Yes, I gave them to them.
Ms. Jolly. Jolly, welcome.
Well, I finally have something new on the report.
Well, we've been missing for 60 days, so you have a little extra time.
Yeah. I've got the sensor lighting project now on page 5. And we actually spent some money out of there and received money.
Committee can look this over and if you have any questions, please just speak right up. We've had this about a week, so.
My problem is if I read something a week later, I don't remember what I read.
I did the report before I went on vacation. I don't remember much.
Well, I do remember this sensor lighting project is supposed to save us a considerable amount of money over the course of time after the first few years, so that would be much appreciated, I know. Any questions from any member of the committee on Ms. Jolly's report here? Ms. Jolly, there's just absolutely no reaction whatsoever. They're very, as usual, pleased with your terrific work.
So moved.
Move we approve. Need a second?
Second.
Dr. Bowman, feel free just to jump right in here. We do have a second.
Well, it was a jolly good report.
Indeed. Indeed it was. Are we in good shape here, Ms. Shelton? Okay. All in favor of approval of Ms. Jolly's report, please say aye. Aye. Okay. Any opposition? No. And okay, we're in good shape. Thank you, Ms. Shelton. As usual, excellent job. School board, Savick is with us this evening. and I'll apologize for him, so he didn't have to do it. He was on vacation, and the report was not mailed. But they
I
are.
reckon I'd left it somewhere.
But it
I
should have
never
been.
had it.
I wouldn't look too. I knew he was coming, and I didn't have anything either. But these are just two very, thank goodness. Just Sandy, go ahead. You
All right.
can explain what I'm about to say.
Well, the first item is a notification of an additional energy efficient schools grant, the Sensors project. We weren't able to apply initially for Oakland and Whitworth Buchanan because they were under construction. And the time frames we were under, that probably would have delayed us a bit more. But we now have been awarded a grant of $47,310 from the state toward the installation of the light sensors at the two new middle schools. The total project will cost about $149,400. And this balance of 102,090, we should be able to cover through change orders and budget amendments within those already budgeted amounts.
I was under the impression we constructed those schools with the new sensors already in.
I was in a meeting, and the way I asked that question, or Mr. Clardy asked that question, that was our initial understanding too. That was not, because they were under construction, we weren't able to apply for the grant at that point. But yeah, we misunderstood.
Are we going to, in the future, make sure that
Yes,
is part of the
yes,
bid package?
yes.
'Cause
Mhm. And it was, the bid,
Yeah.
the schools were already under
already in
construction.
bid when this came to pass.
Yeah, and very likely it would have been another bit of a hold up too, which we were a little tight on getting them
Mhm.
both ready, but
I
made
know
it.
we're putting into more efficient lights
Right,
and balance
yes,
and all like
yes,
we
mhm.
went to 4 or
Right,
5 years
mhm.
ago. And
Yeah.
So as long as we keep progressing
Yes.
with our construction.
Mhm. Yeah. All right.
If it's all right with the committee, we'll just go ahead right on down. Is that all right? Okay, Sam, please.
And the first budget amendment is a transfer from fund balance to fund federal projects. Last October, the school board and the commission approved a $1 million transfer resolution in order to loan up to $1 million from the GPS fund balance to the school system's federal projects fund in order to avoid temporary cash deficits in these federal projects. Before June of 2009, we just did this informally if we needed it. We'd loan $250,000, $50,000, $60,000 from GPS to the federal funds. The auditors decided we needed a formal transfer process in place, so we got the approval for $1 million last year. Last year we only had to use $500,000 of it, but this year with the Race to the Top and the second year of the ERA IDEA funds, we'll need to go on up to the $1 million total. So this money stays in the Federal Projects Fund as a designated fund balance that can be paid back. It's essentially working cash that we need, because most of the federal projects are now reimbursement grants. We have to pay before we get reimbursed. And the amendment decreases the GPS fund balance by $500,000, and on the GPS side increases transfers to other funds by $500,000. And the recommended motion is to amend $500,000 from the general purpose school fund budget and to budget $500,000 in transfers to other funds, 141-99-100-590.
Questions, comments from any committee member?
What federal projects are ongoing right now?
Oh, we have all of the usual ones we have.
That as far as is this part of the ARA money?
And the ERA money on
Okay.
top of it. Probably in total this year, I should have checked that number, we will probably have about $20 million budgeted in the federal projects.
And then the $1 million is just a working,
Yeah, working cash, working capital for us to use in paying the bills.
and then that's reimbursed through the,
And yes, yeah, then the feds reimburse it. But until we run this money down, we're probably going to have to keep this $1 million loaned out.
So where do you stand now on the 3%?
We're in good shape at about 3.8%. About 600,000 of it was because of improved revenues. We got about 400,000 more. Our final growth money from the state was about 400,000. I wasn't sure it would be any. We were tight. And then some of the other revenues came in a little better. So we picked up 600,000 there and about $1.5 million in expenditures, budgeted expenditures that we did not use.
So what are you won't know till after Labor Day, but what are you projecting for the number of new students?
We're not, the last numbers I looked at, we were in that 2% range, but those are still stabilizing.
So school population's tapering off a little bit?
Well,
Or going back
kind
to
of
rate?
comparable to last year, probably about a 2% growth
Okay.
initially, yeah. But again, after Labor Day, we'll have a better idea, as you said.
The bigger your system gets, the bigger 2% gets.
Yes, yeah.
That's good. We'll
Yeah.
go to the front of the class.
Only got 2,000 students, that's not very many, but you got 40,000, that's 800
Yeah.
students.
Mhm. Yeah.
Any other questions on the transfer number one here? If not, Mr. Sandvig,
All right.
give him a second
All
and go to the next recommended motion, please.
We got notification of this on June 24th. Too late to do anything with it. Last year, we had a little over $6 million of the state's portion of the BEP that they funded from ERA funds. The preliminary guidance we got from the state was that amount would be the same. June 24th, we got notification, they put another 6.7, that they reduced the normal state BEP funding and increased the BEP ERA funding. It was a net change in the same amount for us. And that just again, the state is used more of its ERA funds to fund part of this year's BEP and the other programs that flow through the GPS budget. I did get notification last week. The initial numbers on this most recent act that Congress passed to cover teaching jobs and all, Rutherford County's preliminary allocation is about $7.6 million for the 2010-12 year. So that makes me much more comfortable with this number.
Did I hear you say the other night, and I may have misunderstood this during the board work session, that the funding of the BEP program for next year had been some positive comments made?
Yes, and
about
that's
that,
all.
which is
Mhm. When I saw this number, I emailed the director of local finance for the school systems and asked, and he said that it is, at this point in the preliminary planning this administration has done, the BEP is covered next year without this. So that's what we have to go by. But here, seeing the 7.6 million was a
Yeah.
comforting feature.
We all hope that is correct for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Comments from any?
I haven't read the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And the recommended motion is to amend $6,725,500 from account 46511 Basic Education Program to account 46512 BEP ERA as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Savage.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Comments, questions? Any committee member?
Is the ERA money just limited as far as the time? Is it did it end this year? Or,
Well,
I mean,
that was passed 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Okay.
Go ahead.
The initial ERA money was a 2-year.
right.
So this is the last year for that. There is some capability for letting some of it, the IDEA funds, we can go up until September 30th in next fiscal year, because we can use it for the entire federal fiscal year, which ends 9/30.
And that's in 7 million roughly. is
Yeah.
part of the BEP.
for next year. Tennessee will be able to use, there was some question at first if Tennessee would get this money, because the state did fund, they were able to fully fund their BEP, their education allocation, using the ERA money they had in the first bout. I mean, one state used all of its last fiscal year, had none left for this year. Tennessee had saved enough, we were able to use it.
For this coming year.
So this new one, this newest allocation, we will be able to use in 2011, 2012.
Okay, so
I hope I answered.
that's, so then after that,
After that, at this point, it's gone.
and will the state have a deficit? Or, you don't know?
No.
Okay, so are we using our ERA money for program type things?
Yes, the ERA money, it was allocated to different federal projects, and the biggest individual piece was this BEP ERA. But some of it was, we got an allocation for safe schools, we got an allocation for the student attendance system, and we had to spend all of our allocations in those appropriate manners. This BEP ERA, we had to document teachers, and what we did are all of our new hires, we coded them to a special code showing that they were being paid from these ERA funds.
So a lot of it's reoccurring type things?
Oh, yes.
Like,
Mhm.
so-
Some of it is.
Some of them, but not a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So we could be in trouble then?
If the state is in trouble, we could be
State's
in trouble.
we're in trouble on
Right.
2012, 2013.
Right. Mhm. Yeah.
When this
But-
dries up, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Does it count
hopefully,
toward our maintenance of effort? Will that number be included?
well, it does not apply to our maintenance of effort. That is totally our local revenue.
I thought it was.
Yeah. As long as the state fully funds the BEP, regardless of the source they use for it, we are obligated to follow the local maintenance of effort, which we made this year.
Any other questions for Mr. Sanford? Then I need a motion to, and we have to, of course, voice vote, right, Michelle? I knew we did. I need a motion to adopt, please.
So moved.
Dr. Bullen, second.
Second.
Commissioner Jordan. Call the roll. You want
No, you're good.
to, in good shape?
You're doing both transfers.
Right, right.
Commissioner Bullen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Gooch?
Yes.
Commissioner Will Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner McAdoo?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Anything else, Mr. Sanford?
No, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
I
Mr.
had a
Chairman.
couple of requests. I hear through the rumor mill that there's going to be a new school coming to this committee at some point in time.
Yes.
In the near future. I would like to have, if at all possible, the latest numbers at that time.
Oh, of course.
For enrollment.
Right.
I'd also like to know enrollment at the county schools compared to capacity. That ought to be something you can click. We did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
If we can get something ballpark, you know what I mean? If there's
Yeah.
600 at one school and capacity's 850 or something,
Yeah.
we could just get a chart. Because there's going to be a lot of people who aren't looking
Right.
forward to spending $50 million. We're going to have to make sure we have all our homework done.
We did get a couple of the education emails that come with various stories. LA opened a $578 million high school.
Yeah, I saw
We're not in
that.
LA.
For how many
That-
students?
That covers a huge number of students.
Yes, it does.
That's
But
I mean, a
How
big,
many
I can't
students?
remember what it is. I've got a figure in my head, but I don't want to say it because I may be off.
I mean, it's a,
They're in shifts and year round too, aren't they?
It's big. Oh, I'd like to say one thing, I'm not criticizing him, but when people use terms up here, you need to be careful. We have no evidence whatsoever that this is going to be a $50 million high school. You start throwing that figure out, and people that don't want to give any money want to spend money, they're automatically going to start. They're going to.
Well, I got that number from Gary Clardy, so.
Well, it's still not an official number. So I would just say, if you want to make sure it doesn't pass, keep throwing that 50 million out there. And it won't.
Of the $60 million school.
60 million safe, you're all right.
That'll cover it. Thank you, Mr. Sammy.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate it very much. Just a few housekeeping business here, and perhaps a committee member or two might want to say something. His Honor, the Mayor might want to jump in. First of all, I did get a communique from Mr. Cates, who reported to our committee last spring about the recreation program and whatever, and you may have gotten a copy of this, but about 20,000 youngsters participated in that program this summer, many of them, of course, in softball and baseball, and they obviously participated more than one time. And we did get a report broken down by recreation area from Mr. Cates this week, and that's our admiration for that program. I think is pretty well known. It is well run and excellent. Also, Commissioner Jordan has already brought this up about the new school. There, September, October, perhaps. I did talk with Mr. Gill briefly. Preliminary paperwork on architecture and that sort of thing. I would think that's something we need to be cognizant of and thinking about in the future. Also, this committee will not be back as in total. Obviously, we don't know for sure, and I think it's September the 28th. If that date isn't changed, all committees will be new. Next Wednesday night, a week from tomorrow night, I guess, is when we swear in, and then the committees are formed over the next few days. And I want to thank all of you for helping me so much, particularly Ms. Shelton here, who keeps me by kicking, elbowing, and pounding the table at various times, and hand signals, keeps me on the straight and narrow. I do appreciate everyone's help, and obviously the mayor as well. Mr. Williams isn't with us tonight, but I do appreciate him very much, and Dr. Bullen's contribution to this committee and the commission and education in general, as we all know, is legendary, and I appreciate it personally, and I think everybody in the room can echo that. And any other comments or new business that we need to address here before we adjourn? If not, we are adjourned. Thank you so much.